Hello, adventurers. Welcome. It's been a while, hey? We haven't had a chance to do an episode of Ironsworn in 3 weeks, maybe a little longer. Ooh, I'm excited. It's been a while, and obviously I've had lots and lots of opportunity to play role-playing games. I have been doing a ton of that between Court of Swords and Far Verona and Descent into Avernus.
Our illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
So illustrious. Welcome back. Yeah, so it's been a little while, and I'm super excited. We're gonna hang on, give me 1 second real quick. I'm still talking, I'm still here. I'm just checking something. So I switched to using, here we go. Okay. I switched to using OBS from XSplit just to try it out because I installed it so I could run Far Verona yesterday. And so I'm trying it this stream. So we're using different streaming software. So if anything is like just like a little weird, then that's why you'll notice. Otherwise, everything should be normal. So yeah, we haven't done this in forever. It's been a while. I'm really excited to get back to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start today with just kind of a walkthrough again of like how the game works, what the universe is about, you know, the choices that we made back in the first session. We'll take a quick look at what happened last session, and then we'll just jump into session 6. If you have missed anything, this beginning bit should catch you up. If this is the first time you've tuned in, you know, don't worry, we'll get you caught up. This little bit will do that. And then each episode before it is honestly like pretty episodic. So we've tried to kind of break them up so that if you ended up watching, you know, session 3 and then you went back to watch session 1 and 2, it wouldn't, you know, there's not a ton of continuity. And honestly, my character, Nabake, she's not exactly prone to character growth. She's kind of a trash fire. So, you know, it's mostly just me getting into trouble and trying to get out of it using my worst stats because that's how I do, apparently. So let's take a look at what we got, and we will jump back in to the session. So at the beginning of the campaign, we set it up such that we built our world. So this map had fewer objects on it when we first started. We figured out some things about the provinces and kind of what they're up to. This is the setting. And this is our little peninsula here. And we have been focused down here on the Dead Coast. As you can see, it's covered in cursed elf islands and troll fjords and various villages and ruins. So we've been building this as we go, right? The world map was nothing. It was just this lovely periwinkle coastline. And we've been building it up from nothing. So what we've learned is that the old world, which I envision is like this way. The old world is somewhere far off that way, right? The Denmark to our Iceland, maybe, which I guess would be like down and kind of in. Anyway, so sickness in the old world, this massive and terrible plague spread across the old world and killed most of the people that lived there. We were a Bronze Age society, I think. And we used to worship the gods. We had pantheons. I imagine we were some kind of like when I think about it, I think of ancient Sumeria. I think of like, which I guess isn't Sumeria Bronze Age. They're not, it's not Neolithic any fucking way. So I imagine, we came from this ancient sort of Sumerian, Mesopotamian, Assyrian. The Assyrians are maybe my favorite historical badasses, but this is not the time for that. Anyway, we came from this culture. We were the surviving 10%. As the plague was raging on, our ancestors got on these boats and they fucked off from the dying land of the old world. We left our gods behind. We left our art behind. We left our culture behind. We left everything behind, and we traveled across the sea. Hi, Dave. We traveled across the sea to the this new land, and we pretty much all showed up here on the Dead Coast, right? We showed up on this eastern coast, and the first thing that we did when we arrived was like bury all of our dead in this kind of marshland and then set inward to explore, to go and find a new place to live that wasn't plagued by evil. Now, this whole land is old. It's older than the place we came from. Certainly older than humanity. We're the first humans to come here. And the important bits about this area, this new world, are that the gods used it, and not our gods, but some old and long dead gods used it as their battleground. They would come here in mortal form, in earthly form, and they would fight. And their giant battles and their endless warring left the lands rich in debris, right? God battle debris, which we have come to call iron. We take iron from their broken weapons, from their lost pieces of armor, the arrowheads of their long gone armies, and we forge those items by way of a form of magic that only the ironsmiths have. They are sort of our secret guild. They don't control society, but they're the only ones that know how to work the iron. There are secret rites and oaths. They have a guild. I don't know. We haven't met one yet. We actually haven't seen an ironsmith yet, but I pretty much just imagine them all like that badass lady from The Mandalorian. That's pretty much all I can think of when I think of them. We exist in scattered communities. The biggest ones are around a large iron deposit. So like a broken sword or a helmet of the gods, those kinds of things. Our various camps and villages they're run by different people. We'll get to talk a little bit about one village in particular, the one we're stuck in right now, in a minute. But basically, there's a healer caste, there's an iron worker caste, and then villages and communities kind of decide who runs them in whatever way. And it's all about defending our resources, highest among which is iron. Iron matters to us because it's what we use to fight each other, first of all, and to make things. But also, we can use it to fight the firstborn, and we can use it to fight trolls, which are creatures that live in this land. Now, we've already encountered both. We encountered some trolls, and then we went to a cursed elf island, and both times were bad for us. It wasn't good. Yeah. And so as we learn about trolls and firstborn and what have you, we add these things to our truths, right? So this is our little almanac. This is basically our campaign setting. Yeah. What elf island? I have no memory of this, right? Yeah. So those are our truths. We figured out some stuff about the world. This is our character, Nabaki half-elven, aka Sabine, if she's pretending to be a human. She is a half-human, half-elf. She's a mercenary. She's a spear fighter, and she's a total asshole. And she mostly goes around pretending she's human. She can pass as human, but she has physical reactions to supernatural stuff sometimes that show that she is half elven. Also, I think we discussed that elves and like the firstborn and trolls can both kind of tell that Nabake is not a human being. Maybe she smells differently or has some kind of aura. So yeah, that's something that we're figuring out as we go. Now, in Ironsworn, the most important things about the character are these things. There are our vows, our quests, and what have you. And we have an epic quest that we have so far made only the tiniest fraction of progress on, like just the weakest progress on our main quest, which is to eventually found a community for outcasts like me. Yeah, I mean there are small hints that humans can find if they go looking. But she doesn't have like big long pointy ears. She definitely has like a slightly like elvish vibe, but so do other humans, right? There's something else. Like I bet you some witch or like a priest or maybe some angry nuns, maybe they would have a trick, right? The specially designed talismans to like, press on my face to find out if I'm a witch. Some of that like Hellboy type stuff. But anyway, so this is my ultimate goal, is to found a community for people like me. It's not going well. Right now, I'm sort of half-assedly protecting Highwatch and serving Highwatch's kind of mob boss leader, Shekar. So Shekar has control of a town called Highwatch. And Highwatch is, well, let's take a look at it on the map. Highwatch is down here. And it is what did we decide? What did we decide was the tags for Highwatch? Let's take a look. Highwatch is wild, mystical, and isolated. Yeah. So it has one of the last surviving watch beacons of the Dead Coast, right? It hasn't fallen into the swamp yet. So it has this big lighthouse, this big beacon, and then it supposedly protects the land from the sickness coming from the old world. We built these beacons to ward off evil. This is where the Hallowed Harbor Nunnery is, which is where the Warden of Mercy's Light is a bunch of nuns. I let them take care of some woman that I don't care about anymore. She got soul damage from the elf island, so I just ditched her with some nuns. Wonder how she's doing. Probably bad. So we did that, and then we fell in with Highwatch's boss, and now we work for him. We're one of his goons, alongside the other goons that work for him, who are, let me see, Serene and Myrick and Wynn. Yeah, and then I think there was one more goon, but we haven't named them yet. So yeah, Shekar, I work for him. He's a warrior king, and he's got a sword, magic. He's got an iron sword that he loves, and he has made me one of his goons. And I went and got him a badass cloak, and now we're just like hanging out. And then Myrick and Wynn both picked a fight with me last time, and I beat them up. And then they beat me up way bad, and then I got knocked unconscious, and they took my stuff. And the last quest went really, really poorly. So I was thinking today we either I was thinking for a main plot, we could come up with another problem that Shekar has to deal with, which means we have to deal with. And then as a side quest during that, I get my revenge, and maybe we make it seem like an accident and we fucking push Myrick off a cliff or something. I think that's what we do today, because we had talked about being in Highwatch for a couple of episodes now that we work here. And we have a bond with the community, so we might as well. Yeah, the last quest ended with us getting beaten into unconsciousness by our friends. Yeah, and because of one of my abilities, my hidden personality, they are suspicious now of me being an elf. So they may well come and confront me about it, in which case I can stick my spear in them and not have to worry about them anymore. So let's take a look. Now the character sheets have updated again since last time. So we need to do a little bit of updating ourselves. Let's take a look. So there's assets, which was added last time, right? So we have our mammoth, Kudan. We are a skirmisher with two different upgrades on skirmisher. We are a fortune hunter, which we haven't really been able to do any mercenary work lately. And we are a we are a pretender. So we've done that, and we get a +2 when we use our fake identity, but we have 2 people that need to be reassured or prevented from revealing the truth. So that's something that we need to attend to. Check this out, though. Look, the oracles tables have been added. Some of these oracle tables have been added to the character sheet. So now, if I go, let's see, settlement trouble, a broken truce. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So now we have all of these in here. So if I need them, I don't have to look in the book and then roll them. This character sheet has gotten better more quickly than I think any other character sheet I've ever seen in Roll20. It's really very impressive. And now we have a space to add our bonds. So I guess we might as well do that now, right? So we have, let's look at, where did we put it? Dramatis. Oh no, I think we put it maybe in our notes. Somewhere. I can never remember where this. Oh yeah, this was our fight with Win and Myrick and the red shirt. Where did I put that? Dramatis Personae, maybe? Yeah. I put a little star next to everyone I have a bond with. That's right. Okay, all right. So we have, let's go to the top here. Saria the Traveler. Location. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, this is great. All right. So Saria, and honestly, I'm saving Saria in case somebody else wants to come and play with me and wants to play her. Saria, I think, is like, yeah, she's our athletic, charming, and hot-tempered friend. We met her in Stonemoor while dealing with a wrathful haunt. She helped us kill ghosts, and I think she wants my mammoth. I think that's the paranoia that I'm dealing with right now. So I'll just copy this right over. Yeah, awesome. Okay. And then, and we can turn the details on and off. That's really cool. Great. Okay. There's also Amara the Guide. So we know her from Red Watch. And she got herself in some revolutionary trouble. She is remorseful, wounded, and sociable. And that's Amara the Guide. Yep, okay, there we go. And then we have the People of Grim Barrows. And we met them in Grim Barrows. Who wouldn't want that mammoth? It's true. Okay. People of Grim Barrows, they are weak, relaxed, and passive. And this is some stuff that we learned about Grim Barrows. Okay, all right. So the reason that we're noting these is because we get a bonus and we are allowed to make certain moves based on the characters and people we're interacting with. Hersham. Hersham was the name of the woman that we abandoned. She's the pig, pig herdswoman. Yep. And she is currently in High Watch, the nunnery. And what do we get for her? Careless, relaxed, and loyal. There we go. Okay. And then we have our boss, Shekar. I'm really sad that we didn't get to impress that hot lady from last time. Okay, so Shekar, bold, smug, and Ironsworn. Okay. Bold, smug. He's got a magic sword. It's called Sidura. Okay, and then do we have bonds with anybody else? Myrick, Serene. We didn't actually have a bond with Win, right? Yeah, Maya. She's so hot. Okay. But we do have a bond with the people of Highwatch. And Highwatch's descriptors were wild, mystical, and isolated? Was that what it was? Yeah, wild, mystical, and isolated. Okay. All right. So character sheets updated. Quests are on the board. Let's figure out what is wrong in Highwatch. So I guess that means we can roll on our Oracle table here. All right, something is going on in Highwatch. That is going to be, we're going to do another one. So today's session, we're going to try to resolve and strengthen we're going to keep strengthening our bond with the people of Highwatch and with that community. We're going to try to do that. And then we're also going to try to get revenge on Myrick. And if we're good at this, we could theoretically get into a position where maybe we could get out of Shekar's service, right? Maybe we can complete this quest. I don't know if it's going to happen today, but it definitely will happen within a couple of episodes. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. So first things first, let's roll settlement trouble. So the settlement trouble today in Highwatch is debt comes due. Okay. So let's see. Settlement trouble. Debt comes due. All right. So I guess the question is we got to figure out like whose debt is it? What is it a debt for? So maybe we can roll on the like themes table. Let's do that. Okay, well, vow is not very helpful. Let's try again. Okay. Supply, interesting. Okay. So someone owes someone for a supply of something. Let's flip a coin or roll a d6 here. Let's say 1 to 3. 1 to 3 Shekar owes somebody something, and 4, 5, and 6 somebody owes Shekar something, and we're going to go collect. All right. So Shekar owes a nearby town's mayor something promised. Is there, I wonder if there's like region, location. There's no like roll randomly for for thing, like whether it's like food or something. Okay. Or maybe, you know what? Let's do it inside. Let's say Shekar owes the nunnery something. I want to deal with the nunnery again. Let's bring that in, because what we've learned about Highwatch so far, and I guess now that we've been in Highwatch a little while, maybe we need to make like a Highwatch map. I hate doing maps, but I think it makes sense to have one. All right, so let's turn off the grid here. Set that background to black, and I'll just draw in white. Okay, so if we have like the lighthouse as our sort of central thing, I imagine Shekar's Hall is probably quite close to it, right? So like Shekar's Hall, and then there is a road that runs kind of through town, and one branch of it goes down to the Pearl Divers like village down here where we were jerks last time. And then this is like it's the coast. It's not, no. There we go. So there's like the coastland that goes this way. Yeah. Okay. And so these are two little roads. That's Shekar's Hall. There's probably like there's a bunch of other little buildings kind of like around, you know, like Shekar's Kennel and like a guest quarters kind of thing. There's probably like an inn. And then I think probably up the hill, maybe the nunnery is like over here. Okay. Maybe the lighthouse needs to be bigger. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. Okay. Something like that. Because I was envisioning like the place I got my ass beat was like right there, like on my way back up from the down in the village. So we've got all kinds of other shit that we can start doing. Okay. So I actually, while I don't like drawing maps, it's nice having one. So let's come back to this and let's stick around in High Watch. So what do I want here? I want text. No, fuck out of here, map legend. There we go. All right. All right. So there's the lighthouse. Shekar's longhouse is down here. The nunnery is over there. And then down here is Pearl Village. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right, cool. And then we can keep adding to this as we go, right? We'll keep adding on to this map. Okay. All right. So, let's get back to figuring out what the hell is going on in town right now that we need to deal with. So we know now that Shekar owes the nunnery. What do you think? Like money? What does he pay? What would Shekar? Because they owe him, big sarcastic quotation marks. They owe him for protection. Right. And so, oh yeah, maybe I like the idea. What does it take to make mead? I'm looking it up. We're gonna learn. It's honey, right? Fermented honey. Fermented honey with water, various fruits, spices, grains, or hops. The majority of its fermentable sugar is derived from honey. Still, carbonated or sparkling, dry, semi-sweet or sweet. Okay. Mead, honey wine. Okay, so... So the... let me see. Okay, so... I just need to see, because I think it might be too cold for bees. But then, like... The Vikings drank mead, so they would have had access to honey. Let me see. So bees. I'm just gonna look at the Wikipedia article for bees. What is it called where you can see on a map how the territory, like where bees can live? What is that called? If I wanted to look that up. I just want to make sure this makes internal sense. Like range? Habitat map? Yeah, maybe that. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's bees everywhere. Look at that. That's just the western honeybee. Exotic range. Okay, so they do tend to prefer Plenty of bees in northern Norway. Okay, all right, yeah, perfect. Okay, so Shekar owes the nunnery a bunch of money for a bunch of money for barrels of mead, which he purchased, which he got from them for a big party he had recently. The nuns are asking that Shekar pay up, and Shekar has told his goons to go and convince the nuns that the mead was a donation to the well-being of the town of Highwatch. Okay, well, apparently this episode is the episode where we go and try to boss some nuns around. Wait, hold on. So if the nuns... Shekar sucks. Yeah, it's true. If the nuns have an apiary, they probably have flowers, which means they would need somebody. If they're busy doing nun stuff, they would need somebody else to keep an eye on the flowers for them. Some kind of frocked priest, like a friar, maybe. Some kind of florist friar. Yeah. Okay, so I guess let's add to the map then that they have like flower fields. Boo. Get out of here. Okay, so they have like a garden, right? Then the apiary garden would be like back here. Yeah, okay. Whatever, my bad jokes are funny. What am I looking for here? Map and background, that's what I was going for. I want to copy the nunnery here. The garden. It's probably like one of the only actually like nice things around here. It's like a well-kept garden. A well-kept garden where you... Okay, all right. Excellent. Okay, all right. So... That's what's wrong, I guess. Jeez. All right. So, as a sworn servant of Shekar, Nibake takes. I'm gonna bring Myrick because he's scary, and Serene because I like her. Takes Myrick and Serene to go and have a talk with the nuns. Now, they're not just nuns. They're the sisters of something mercy. Sisters of whatever. Let me go look. There it is. The Hallowed Harbor Nunnery. And the Wardens of Mercy's Light. That's right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. And we are bringing, where's my dramatis personae? We're bringing Myrick so we can get revenge. And then also Serene, because I think she's one of the goons that doesn't hate me. That's right. She's covered in gear. She's the one with all the weapons. She has a sword, an axe, a bunch of knives, and she knows a little bit of like medic stuff. So plot twist, Myrick is allergic to bees. Okay, so Myrick is they them pronouns. I got to try to remember that for Myrick. They wear less clothes than you would expect in this weather. And they are cuckoo bananas. There is something wrong with their brain. Maybe they're cursed. I don't know. And then Serene is she's a tough lady friend of ours. Now Myrick, Myrick suspects that I might be something. I might be an elf or a spirit or something. So I gotta think about how to. I either have to shut him up forever or convince him not to talk. Okay, all right. So I think the first thing. What is the first thing we do? Is we swear the oath, right? We have to swear an oath to serve our Lord and Master. Swear a vow. I guess. Okay, so let's take a look at my moves list here. And we are going to swear an iron vow to complete a quest. We will add this to our quest list. This quest is to convince the nuns, or convince the Wardens of Mercy's Light to let Shekar off from his debt. So just let him get away with it. Just let him. Oh boy. Okay. All right. I think this is going to be troublesome rather than dangerous because, they're not going to like fight back if that's what it comes to. They'll just be mad. And what are they going to do? Where? The other thing is they're not a nunnery. They're almost like the monasteries in Anathem. Like they're a nunnery, but they're secular, right? They're a halfway house for sick and like wounded people. But it's like they don't have God. They don't have a God. They don't like hold service. Like they can't excommunicate you because they don't have that. That's the interesting thing is that they're nuns, but really they're caretakers. Yeah, they're just monks. Yeah, which is cool. Okay, so let's go and boss them around. So I'm going to go ahead and swear an iron vow. Write your vow, give the quest a rank, then roll plus heart. If you make this vow to a community or a person to whom you share a bond. Yes. Okay, so here we go. Now, here's something for enterprising character sheet makers. Here's a thought. If there is a way for the API to automatically record a text file or a handout every move that gets made in a game and what its results are outside the chat log, like just puts that into a text format so that I can come in and add detail, that would be so super cool. Because it already writes the results to the quest, the chat log. It'd be really cool to get an output of that in a specific formatted way that I can then go and add fiction to. Yeah, that'd be really sick. Okay, so roll. Whoa, why did that change colors? Whoa. What the hell, auto formatting? That was weird. Okay, all right. So the roll is swear an iron vow. So Nibake, Jesus, it's such a gross, like, okay, the opening scene is Shekar explaining to us from his big stone throne, right? He's sitting in the throne, he's got his sword across his lap, and he's talking to me and Myrick and Serene, and he says, I need you to go to the nuns and convince them that these barrels of mead are a gift. That party was entertaining very important guests of mine from out of town. It's important that High Watch maintain its position as a significant part of the landscape of the Dead Coast. We can't have guests coming and thinking that we don't have the resources to show our respect for them. These nuns. Go and convince them that their contribution to our well-being is good enough. They don't need my gold. And Serene, I think, looks kind of like... She looks at me, we look at each other, and she looks like she kind of has a bad taste in her mouth. Like, God damn, Shekar. Like, I'm working for you because you're the boss, but like... So she shakes her head a little, and Shekar kind of chuckles because he likes making Serene do things like this. Like, he probably chose her to come with me. And I look at her like, it's a living, right? Like I give her that smarmy look like, what are you going to do with your morals and your ethics? And Myrick is just sharpening their knife like, yeah, maybe I'm going to kill some nuns. I don't know. And I look at Shekar and he gestures to his sword. I think he holds it out. And he says, come, my loyal servants, swear that you will do this. And I'm like, God damn, man, you're going to make me kiss the sword. And so Myrick comes up and Myrick bows at the waist and says kind of quietly, my lord, it will be done. And he's like pretending to be kind of a fop, and he bows and he just barely grazes the flat of the sword with his lips. And then Serene comes up, and I think for Myrick, we've been using he and they kind of interchangeably, but I want to lean more into the they pronouns just to but thank you for the nudge, Dave. So Serene comes up and she looks at it and she looks at him and she just shakes her head like, no, and walks out. And I'm like, I come over and I bow and I look at him and I'm like, most noble overlord, in this and all other things, I am your dog. And I smooch the blade. I make a big show of it, like I wet my lips and I bend to the waist and I like, mwah, and I kiss the sword like I'd kiss my grandma. And I look at him and I'm like, see you later, my lord. And the three of us head out into the street. So let me roll this iron vow, and I will see if we start on a good foot or if it's going to be fuck you, city, just like last time. Okay, let's take a look here. I need to roll heart, which is definitely my worst stat. Alongside iron, the two I seem to roll the most. And I got a +1 because I have a bond with our boy Shekar. Okay, here we go. Great, good, fantastic. A weak hit. I got a 3, which means I rolled a 1, and I rolled a 2, luckily. So we got a weak hit. We're determined to begin the quest, but we do so with more questions than answers. Take +1 momentum, and let's try to find our way forward. Okay, all right. So, what are we going to do? Where do we start? I guess like we can just go to the nunnery and I set out for the nunnery with a couple of Shekar's other chucklefuck hounds. I think we're meant to bully some nuns, which is pretty funny. But also, I need to find an opportunity to deal with Myrick. They've been giving me funnier looks than usual. And it's time to deal with it. So, just as an aside, if you like the character of Nibake, if you like the kind of like blustery, obnoxious teenage sword lesbian, do yourself a favor and check out Gideon the Ninth. Gideon, the main character, is like Nibake if she was a space necromancer instead of a Viking half elf. It's a fucking great book. Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, all right. So we set out for the nunnery. I got one eye on Myrick and the other on the nunnery. And I think we just set out. We have no journey here. So we leave the longhouse and we go up the hill and we can see the massive lighthouse kind of like hanging up there, glowing with ghostly light, supposedly creating a bubble around Highwatch that protects us from ghosts and what have you. And I look up at it, you know, because I'm still not used to seeing it in the sky. And we walk past and I head up to the nunnery. And I say, as we go, I'm like, friends, buddies, pals, before we go up here and start bossing around these ladies of the cloth, can we talk for a minute? We should talk. I have to talk to the two of you. And so I stop, and then Serene stops, and she's got her axe or whatever, and she's just like, what? And she turns around and looks at me. I'm like, whoa, okay, all right. Myrick. And Myrick stops, and they turn around, and I'm like, so when I first got here, I had a friend with me, and she was, how do I put this? Well, the lights weren't on upstairs. And I like look at the lighthouse in the background. I'm like, yeah, she had troubles of the mind. Too much time with her pigs, I guess. Anyway, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm not really the caretaking type. So I kind of just left her at the nunnery. That's fine, right? That's what you have a baby and you're like, I don't want this baby. Nuns, you have it. And the nuns are like, yay, free baby, right? So that's not going to be a problem, is it? And Serene grumbles and she says, if it's a problem, it's your problem. And I'm like, but Serene, lovely oak tree of a woman that you are, if there's trouble, I want to make sure we're on the same side. And she says, same boss, not the same side. Oh, Serene, my love, why? Why do you treat me like this? And I look over at Myrick. I'm like, Myrick, my sibling, my companion. And I look at him, leaving off the like, you and Wynn like beat the shit out of me like last week. You owe me. I leave it off. I'm like, listen, I just would like to secure the two of you behind me if there's trouble. I mean, they're nuns, right? What are they going to do? Myrick, where are you going? God damn it. Couple of assholes. And so they head off. And I'm like, well, all right, fine. I'm going to take that as like a soft yes. Good talk, guys. Yeah, okay, fine. And I jog off after them. And as we reach the nunnery, which I don't think we've described before, I think the nunnery kind of like, it's settled in like a little, it's in like a little valley almost. So like if this is the top part of the village, right? And then everything below it kind of gets lower, right? As we go like that. I think there's another little peak like over here, shaped like a peanut. And so there's this little valley where the garden and the nunnery are. So it's got little mountains, little hills on either side. And I think it's like this whole area. We hear as we come in, we hear the bees buzzing in the garden behind. It's a different color palette. Like I envision everything in Highwatch to be tuned towards cyan. So like gray is blue gray. White is like light blue. Black is that sort of oily, like black blue color. All the stone is like, everything around here is color balanced towards the cool end, except this little valley where this tiny little valley where the nunnery is, we would add some warm color. So probably the nunnery has, like cracking and faded, like mustard colored or yellow colored paint that is like peeling off of the sides. Maybe it was like whitewashed at some point. It's a big old wooden stone building, big nunnery. And it probably was some kind of like religious place at one time, but it isn't now. Now it's just like a big hall. And within, I think the nunnery has like, a dozen or so nuns, and it has some like refugees, other people with mental illness, like that the nunnery is caring for. And then they have a separate building, and let's add this. They have a separate building that is over here. That is the meadery, right? Where they make mead. That's what it's called. There we go. Okay. Maybe that's a little smaller. Let's make it. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So as we head over there, let's add another person to our dramatis personae. Let's see the nun that we're gonna need to deal with. Sister or maybe mother. Let's make it mother. Something. Let's come up with a name. Okay. So here we go. Oracles. Character. Ironlander names. Here we go. Ooh, Gwen. Mother Gwen. Should we make her Mother Gwendolyn? Yeah, I think Mother Gwendolyn, spelled like all complicated and weird. You even do it like Mother Gwendolyn. But yeah, Mother Gwendolyn. She is something about bees. Hive keeper. Yeah, hive keeper. And doing all the mead stuff is kind of her jam. Now we got to figure out what she's like. Italicized, no bold. Here we go. Okay, so I need three qualities, character descriptors. Here we go. She is incompetent. Perfect. Intolerant. Oh, Jesus. And manipulative. Great. Good. She sounds like a fantastic person. Incompetent. Isn't Shekar also incompetent? I think he is. Where is he? No. We did find that like leadership is incompetent, but he's not personally. But she sucks. Incompetent, intolerant, manipulative. Wow. What a fine lady. An elder nun of the Wardens of Mercy's Light, in charge of the meadery and the apiary of charge of the meadery and the apiary. Wow, intolerant, incompetent, and manipulative. I'm so excited to meet her. So we get to the nunnery, and I say to Serene and to Myrick, I'm like, let me handle this. And I stride up to the door.